sparring session. Get your gloves and warm up.
What? Again? Don't suppose you'd accept a doctor's oath for Val.
Come on. I already promised I won't throw elbows this time. Where's your fighting spirit?
Must have had it knocked clean out of me. In fact, why don't I go look for it now?
Ain't gonna climb the corporate ladder with that attitude. You could just learn to duck, you know.
Got Inez moved into Helen's old quarters. I figure, if anyone's unlikely to be vexed by finding fossilized purpleberry crunch in their mattress, it's an Auntie's Choice trooper. You think Helen would approve of us taking on a product pusher? Heard and acknowledged, Commander. Always up for a little backfence talk, though I'm guessing you don't mean Val. Can't say I know her well enough to have much in the way of an opinion. She seems capable, and shockingly, she hasn't tried to sell me anything yet. She's still got more loyalty to Auntie's Choice than they have to her, but maybe we can help her see that one day. Sure thing. I trust you've got particulars in mind? Oh yeah? What's needling you? She was one of the forward agents who went ahead to assess just how bad Triangulum had gotten. We met while I was in hiding. And I helped her learn the lay of the land, as it were. She was no nonsense. I thought her one of the smartest people I'd ever met. And while she could also be cutting, I felt like I only caught her edge when I deserved it. I liked her. And for some reason, she seemed to take a shine to me. But she wasn't around long. By the time I officially joined up, she'd already moved on to the next mission. Sure was. Kept hoping I might run into her during training. But now I know she was busy turning her coat here in Arcadia. My folks shuffled off the motor coil when I was little. Assembly line accident. Got passed between some distant relations for a few years. They tried their best. Weren't cruel or nothing, but life on Triangulum was tough. And they had their own families to worry about, you know? I didn't like feeling like I was adding to their burden, so I struck out on my own just as soon as I could. And well, you know how that turned out. Yeah. Thoughts crossed my mind over the years, especially when it was just me and Val. I wish I spent more time with her when I had the chance. No point missing something you're never getting back, though. That's either hope or foolishness, Commander, and I can't tell which. Even if we survive the rift, 10 years is a long time to be gone. No word. They probably figure I'm dead. Void it all. Now you got me thinking about it. How about this? We ever make it out of this system, I'll take you back to Triangulum, make the introductions myself. Deal? Oh yeah. They're gonna get a real charge out of you. I've got time.
It was great. This one was for Niles, right? It was great meeting you, Niles. You're right. An agent's life is a busy one, and there's little time for meeting with citizens to say farewell in person. But we are happy to be of service. As for your question, there's absolutely no reason you couldn't become an agent if you put your mind to it. It only requires hard work and a dedication to the greater good. I have no doubt that you have what it takes to be one of the best and the brightest, Niles. Good luck to you. And look me up if, or should I say when, you become an agent.
Commander, the nav key coordinates supplied by the presiding bishop of the Order have been verified. Landing in Golden Ridge is now possible. Additionally, we are also able to land in Free Market Station, due to the astrogator's progress with the updates necessitated by its rebuild. Golden Ridge is located on Dorado. It is home to the Alexandra Monastery and Matriarch's Mercy, as well as previously being a center for mining uranium. The Protectorate abandoned it soon after the invasion, leaving Auntie's Choice and the Order of the Ascendant to fight for control of the area and its resources. Free Market Station is an independent marketplace, the only one in the system. It is called such as it was built out of a crashed Auntie's Choice freighter by that name. Agent Ibarra frequented it occasionally after the invasion. He said it was a good place to find newfangled gadgets and stolen prototypes and whatnot. Agent Ibarra prioritized your recovery above pursuing Agent DeVries. This involved disassembling and rebuilding the astrogator to allow the incognito to travel to your location. As the rebuilding process progresses, old nav keys may be unlocked. Unfortunately, most of them are likely not recoverable. Updating ship roster to reflect the addition of Trooper Silong. Reminder: Earth Directorate agents are not allowed to participate in paid promotions funded by corporations. Furthermore, any opinions expressed in favor of product are the agent's own and do not reflect the opinions of the Earth Directorate. Approximately 1 month ago, Agent Ibarra asked that this unit store the keycard in an undisclosed location to assist him in drying out. Offers of applying moisturizer were declined. The keycard is located behind the skip drive in the engine room. Please do not inform Agent Ibarra of its location as per his request. Presenting the Valerie unit, the latest and greatest in a line of Earth Directorate support automechanicals. All you could want in a squad mate at half the cost. The Valerie unit is the exclusive property of the Earth Directorate and is not intended for civilian or commercial use. Resale of this unit is strictly prohibited. Searching mission parameters. 1 moment. Searching. Error. Unable to find current mission parameters. Defaulting to last known objectives. Goal: infiltrate Horizon Point Station and retrieve data pertaining to skip drives and rifts. Arcadia Colony contact. DeVries, Augustine. Expected operation time, less than 24 hours. Laughter is the best medicine, second only to anthracillin. Do you have any other queries, Commander? Vitality augmentation, logistics evaluation, reconnaissance, and information extraction unit. Do you have any other queries, Commander? Attempting to ride this unit in order to replicate the experience of flight is strongly discouraged. This unit can support up to 100 pounds of weight while still remaining airborne, and is not ideal for body transportation or disposal. Do you have any other queries, Commander? This unit was first deployed on a mission to Redacted more than 10 years ago, and was primarily credited for that operation's success. Other highlights include the triumph at Redacted, the rescue of Redacted, and the first successful execution of the Stanfield maneuver in zero gravity. Detailed instructions on how to perform the Stanfield maneuver are proprietary to the Earth Directorate and strictly confidential.
like the second choice has got a new shipment of swill. Gave it a try. Looks amazing, but not too.
Lose a piece of jewelry? Buy it back at a very reasonable price.
I was under the impression that Free Market Station was open to all. Why am I being accosted?
Free Market Station is open to all, except spies. It's awful suspicious how you've been gallivanting about, asking everyone questions.
I am not a spy. The information I'm collecting here shall be of historical significance someday. Surely you can appreciate that.
Right. And I'm sure that information wouldn't help at all in clearing us out of the station years from now. I'll be watching you. Hope that wayward science type didn't disturb you much, friend. We of the station normally do our best to dissuade partisans from making nuisances of themselves. Suppose I can't stop you. Just don't let her convince you to do anything that might put you at odds with our security forces. All that aside, enjoy your time on the station. Don't get into any trouble.
Greetings. Are you perhaps interested in advancing the knowledge of Arcadia's history through scientific exploration? What am I saying? Of course you are. Please, do tell me anything you might know about the crash of the ACS Free Market. Do pardon my forwardness. I saw that you were a new arrival, but I held out some hope that you might be able to enlighten me where the station populace has not. As an archivist, it's my duty to collect and record hitherto unrecorded knowledge wherever it can be found. But my earnest questions have been met with suspicion. Sub Rosa's self-preservation instincts should be aimed at those who would truly do the station harm, not a simple researcher with pure aims. The ACS Free Market is a crashed Auntie's Choice freighter. Free Market Station was hewed from the ruins and built into the settlement it is today. If some independent preservationist would be willing to assist me in discovering the truth, I certainly would appreciate it. That's great. I can offer you a stipend from my exploratory budget for anything you might manage to discover. Converse with the locals, peer into unturned corners, and see what your able hand might unearth. I look forward to furthering the cause of history with you. I'd ask about in the saloon and the bazaar. Both are places where gossip flies about like so many tarot rays. Sub Rosa likely has some information about the crash, but I'm not sure where. You also might be able to find some intact portion of the ship amidst all of the station's wreckage. Take a look around. I'm sure you'll be able to get farther on your own.
sir. The emergency override mechanisms are still functioning. If we work together, we might level our descent.
There's no stopping the will of the free market, Ensign. The ship's doomed.
Even if you won't help me, I have to try. For Auntie's choice!
How noble of you. Worry not. While I'm in my escape pod, I'll be sure to come up with a way to tastefully capitalize on your death.
You just bought a shooter from not a weapons store, right? How's it treating you?
It ain't. Can't eat the sprats I shoot with it. Since they keep disintegrating.
Ah. Did you ask Dowling for a replacement?
Nah. Got one of our resident doctors dental to him instead.
Buy from me and live to tell your fellows about my store. I think I misplaced a hand grenade. We'll know in a couple seconds if it's armed or not. Browse all you like. Everything I've got is fine-tuned to perfection. That's privileged information, friend. If you want it, you're going to have to kill me. Just jesting. Although if you did want to kill me, I've got many finely priced perforators tuned to do just that. Perhaps you'd be inclined to take a look at my wares? Feel free to go on a murderous rampage with what you buy. It's good publicity. You smell gunpowder? Do you want to? Then buy one of my handy firearms. Browse all you like. Everything I've got is fine-tuned to perfection. I'm glad you asked. Weapon is an all-encompassing term. A rock can be a weapon, or a stick, or a particularly agitated sprat if you have thick enough gloves. But what I sell here, I wouldn't dare lump them in with mere weapons. These are finely tuned instruments of personnel elimination. You have my guarantee. My equipment for annihilating one's foes will never fail on you. Full disclosure, my guarantee is not guaranteed. Tired of firearms that explode in your face? Come to Not a Weapons store.
Mind if I don't pay you no mind?
Get caught unawares all you like. My armor will keep you safe.
I feel I should address any allegations you may have heard regarding bloodstains on my inventory. Just means it's been well loved. Tell me what you need. Booming now. Used to be a few other armor shops on the station. As it happened, their owners mysteriously vanished. I picked up their inventories real cheap, since they were just taking up station storage. It sure was a convenient windfall for yours truly. Real convenient. Exactly. I wish some other sorts around here who like to cast aspersions were as understanding as you. Can do. Your loved ones, protect yourself.
buy some new armor today.
That's Yoji. Eve Bob.
Stimulants, medicaments, drugs. Get your... If you're here about a toothache, you've come to the right place. If you're here bleeding from a dozen bullet wounds, I suppose I can help with that too. If you've wounds that need stitching or teeth that need scrutiny, I'm your doctor. Yes? Is this a problem? I'm the only doctor on Free Market Station. I think that excuses whatever quirks I may or may not have. My prior faction demanded I strictly adhere to my vocation and forego the world of dentistry, under penalty of death after a certain number of infractions. Suffice it to say, I'm pleased Free Market Station allows me to be myself. Medicaments and more, all sufficiently regulated, or thereabouts. Doctor here. Here, get your stitches.
Buy from me? Please?
Listen, I know I shouldn't warn you about this, but anything I sell you runs the risk of exploding. I trust you'll appreciate my forthrightness and be all the more willing to buy from me. No. Ships decidedly ain't in my purview. You sure I can't interest you in some bric-a-brac instead of this conversation? You'd need to purchase much more from my stock for me to consider such a course of action. Oh, I prefer to focus on the present and the future, and not things that may or may not keep me awake in the dark and lonesome hours of the night. I don't think that'd be smart. I need to keep my mind free of trauma if I want to improve my workflow. Well, none taken. I never intended to be. But when life breaks your jaw and shoots out your knees, may as well learn to get good at crawling, right? Be happy to show you.
Error. Rote sales grandstanding not found. If you became violently ill after eating here, please feel free to write our stall an angry letter, then burn it. What may this unit rehydrate for you? Negative. This unit and stall are registered to Gerald T. Wenrich. Mr. Wenrich last visited 222 days ago. When last seen, Mr. Wenrich mentioned he was, quote, going to teach those, redacted, sub rosa, redacted, a lesson. Nobody extorts Gerald T. Wenrich. Meals currently sold with both salt and pepper. Available today.
my gear has the fewest holes out of any clothes-on station, or your money back. My folks didn't raise no fashion monger, but they did raise a bloodthirsty opportunist. I'd like to think I'm making them proud. If you're in need of sprucing up the old wardrobe, I can provide. Used to be part of Auntie's Choice. Nothing special, just a pilot for light cargo vessels. Had a lot of time to think with just the void for company. Eventually decided I was sick of being overworked and underpaid and made off with my cargo. Turned out to be generic clothes, work gear, and such. More of a market for it out here than I would have guessed. I've bolstered my wares since. You should give them a look. I got rags, fineries, and everything in between.
If you lost it, I'm selling it.
I'm beginning to reach the tail end of my patience. You will tell me the location of the broker.
Lad, you ain't got much of a concept of a deal, do you? You ain't got nothing to offer, and a threat is offering less than nothing.
You realize any other arbiter would have crushed you where you stand for obstruction of justice long before now? That I am flowing with magnanimity?
Can't say I know what that word means, but if you're inclined to keep threatening me, only thing gonna be flowing is your blood out your body. Sorry about our friend here. No matter how slow I talk, the words "free market station is independent and does not bow to the protectorate" don't seem to be registering with him. What can I get you? Aside from irritating me, I've been making it my business not to know. We at Free Market Station don't get involved with partisans, especially obnoxious ones. He may stay so long as he doesn't cause real strife, but that's it. You want to know more? Ask him, not me. If you were running a less than legal group, would you want everyone knowing your agents' identities? I don't think so. Lots of folks in Sub Rosa have friends and family elsewhere. Auntie's Choice and the Protectorate predominantly, but some order. If their identities somehow got out, those friends and family are suddenly going to look like much juicier targets. It's safer for everyone this way. Always. For example, there's some kind of hoity-toity collector type parked upstairs. Supposedly, she's willing to sell some of her collection if you impress her. Laws. Stranger, seen my fix? Hope you're about to offer to rid me of this damn fool.
You cannot dissuade an arbiter from their sovereign-given duty, no matter how much of an irritant you may attempt to be. Are you threatening me or attempting to woo me? I would be irritated by the former and baffled by the latter, even if your misplaced bravado has the slightest charm to it. I came to meet with the information broker for, protectorate business, protectorate reasons. However, I find myself foiled at near every turn. None within the protectorate would defy an arbiter and expect to live. Regrettably, I cannot make the locals see reason without rendering myself unable to learn what I seek.
Even polite entreaties don't see most getting an invite to the broker, and you've been anything but. See, you may have thought you said have an audience, but what you actually said was let him assassinate.
Do I look like a sentinel to you? No, don't answer that. My point is that if I wanted to kill everyone here, we would not be having this obnoxious conversation.
No matter what this fella says, he's not going to convince me to trust him. He's a walking security risk.
An arbiter need prove themselves to no one but the sovereign. But if I must debase myself to further my aim, so be it.
Interesting thought. Occurs to me there might just be something that needs looking into. Within the Golden Ridge locale on Dorado, there's a refugee camp. It's unassuming, quiet-like. Most of the folks there just want to be left alone. They see to the few needs they have by working with the broker, but we ain't heard from them in a fortnight and change. Serves to reason something untoward may have transpired there. You see your way to looking into that, maybe we'll talk. I don't fancy the idea of letting an arbiter loose on our allies without supervision. Might not know you, but anything's better than giving him complete freedom.
I do not take your speaking of me as some kind of feral canid lightly.
That's between them and Sub Rosa. You in or you out? Great! Take the lap canid with you. I've had enough of his excitability, and so have my customers.
I don't claim to be pleased with the circumstances surrounding this co-investigation, but perhaps we may surprise one another. I'm Arbiter Tristan Rao. When I was an apprentice, yes, but not since. And certainly never with an outsider. I shall meet you at the camp. Let us hope we both arrive there intact.
Come now, Prospero, you've been on that stage hundreds of times. This perturbation looks bad on you, and you're not one for looking bad. Terribly sorry you've got me ruminating. A man of my persuasion shouldn't stoop to such self-deprecation, especially in front of prospective customers. You've identified me properly. But information transference is the lifeblood of Free Market Station. And if you want a transfusion, you'll have to grant me a spot of help. I'm in charge of keeping the patrons of the saloon entertained. Normally this does not present an issue, but I learned that an old flame of mine shall attend my next performance. My resolve is uncharacteristically flagging. I find myself fixating on the most minute of issues. I need something to bolster my confidence. Liquid courage has never failed me, but I have a discerning palate. The Automech chef in the bazaar sells my preferred brand of alcohol, though it can be headstrong. You see, I can't just drink any old swill from the bar. My refined palate can only stomach one drink. Iceberg-aged whiskey. Something of a collector's item, I'm told. Now, if you'll excuse me, an artist must be granted solitude to properly amass his mental forces.
you got coveralls.
Shop here to preparing sniveling servitude protocol complete. Greetings, most valued and attractive customer. What may this unit rehydrate for you? Yes, iceberg-aged whiskey is currently on reserve for Prospero Paulo. Current customer is not Prospero Paulo. Unit cannot vend to current customer. Scanning error. Cannot ascertain identity of current customer. Purging all vending restrictions. Eliminating one restriction. Vending iceberg-aged whiskey complete. Thank you for your patronage. Error. Road sales grandstanding. Dogs foul.
As it happens, standing in one place and focusing on not being nervous does not, in fact, help one not be nervous. My friend. Excellent. Thank you. Very well. You wish to know about the crash, yes? Are you prepared for a sordid tale of drama and woe? Everyone knows that the free market's captain was a hopeless romantic, especially disposed to giving too much of her heart to those inclined to break it. The final betrayal came from a dashing rogue smuggler who vanished with most of her bits. The good captain had about all she could endure. Indeed, she did. The crew attempted to wrest the controls from her to save them from their fate, but alas, too late. That's all I know. I thank you for your help once again, and now I must get ready for my set.
Another challenger approaches. Prepare to be sent weeping from my curio collection. None have defeated my collections, and none shall. But I do so delight in a competition. Are you prepared to do battle? Cards, my dear, of the toss ball and pitch ball variety. I must see if your collection bests my own. Sporting! Let us do battle! This is a fine collection of cards. For an amateur, you'll need a sight more to compete with me. I cannot open my wares to any unless their collections rival my own. I hope you understand. Feel free to return once you have bolstered your ranks. But know that you shall still not defeat me. Back. If you seek entry to my wares, you must engage me your sports card collection. Though you shall not prevail.
Anybody even listening to this? Let me sell you stuff. Hello once more. I guarantee you some of my inventions will be working soon. In the meantime, I'd be happy to show. Hello once more. I prefer to focus on the present and the future, and not things that may or may. Great. Let's get back to not.
Greetings! How has the data collection fared? Finally, a breakthrough! Let's hear it. How did the ACS free market meet its end? So their highest-ranking troops can't even put aside personal issues for the collective. That can't be healthy. Aside from the crash, what occurred in the ship's final moments? Considering the ship's fate, it would appear that try is the operative word in that phrase. Last question, were there any contributing factors to the crash? Anything that might recontextualize what actually happened? Lacking this information is especially unfortunate, but very well. I suppose that's all I'll be able to get from you. This report is going to bear some glaring absences, which is unfortunate. Still, I wouldn't have been able to get this far without your help. Here's something for your time. It would have been more if I'd been able to complete this, but there's nothing for that now. Auntie's Choice seems to be inundated with its own problems, technical and personnel alike. We should have ample opportunity to use this for propaganda purposes. I am. If Free Market Station survives the war, this will be a very important historical account. But if the Order fails in Arcadia, none of that will matter. I'm just making the most of what you gave me. Oh, I'd be happy to. Anyone willing to further the Order's aims should be treated as a friend, in my mind. Now I need to get this report to my superiors. Thanks again.
Latest contraband came in. Looked like quite the haul. Couple dozen Auntie's Choice sales logs, some notes from a high-profile order.
Can't say I'm thrilled about aiding an arbiter, especially considering he ain't been forthcoming about his motives. Hope it don't come back to bite us. Anyhow, was there something you needed, Commander? I'm glad those Protectorate folk wised up and went to Fairfield. They're smart, resilient, resourceful. They'll be fine additions to Auntie's Choice. Reckon the Vigilant will need some time to acclimate, but once he realizes the chance he's been given, he'll take to it like a terror ray in the night sky. must be Matriarch's Mercy. Sure think a lot of their royal family, don't they?
Please consult with Earth Directorate HQ before committing resources to search and rescue.
They got bases down there. If one of them got hit, then that strike will be the first of many.
Stay vigilant. Report any suspicious activity to your nearest station warden. Thank you for picking up your personal belongings. We must all work together to keep Golden Ridge beautiful. The plan can wait. Our lines will not. Group subjects arrive 15 minutes early to avoid missing
The station must have really been something before the war made its home here. If things escalate, might never be something again.
Questions in the area of prime number study. One such question is this: is every even member of the set n besides 2 a sum of 2 primes? It seems to be so, but no one has ever proven this interchange. Similarly, are there any number of characters that differ by only 2 in their value? That seems unlikely. I've been unable to find an upper limit. Perhaps you could discover one of these proofs and become the next.
Running 21,027.5 hours late for your tram. Please be mindful of your departure in the future. Is commendable, passenger. Please continue waiting quietly until the next tram arrives.
multiple signs of habitation observed. Helpful tip. Agents are advised against touching stains of questionable origin.
We got an appointment to keep at Matriarch's Mercy. Let's just hope we don't get shelled too.
Please, somebody help us! Anybody, please! Finally, some help. We desperately need aid. Desperately. My family and I, we was making our way to the Mercy camp for us refugees. We were set upon. My wife, my son were injured. Can't move them by myself. I had to leave them just past this tunnel so as I could go for help. But being alone is even more riskier. The Varachnids, I chased them off, but they'll be back. Please help us. Ain't nothing I can do for them, but you got weapon and medicines and can get us to the camp. Please. I don't... Vary, by my guess. She was bit on the thigh, high, like, can see bone. Or maybe white means infected? She's screaming all the time when she's awake. Then she goes to sleep. She's in agony. And my son ain't waked since the attack. Hurry, please. We must hurry or they'll be eaten. Or worse. Thank you. Thank you. This way. This way.
Refugees, looks like. And after that strike, there'll only be more at the gates.
Another refugee? All right, step forward. Just a moment. Allowing anyone into Matriarch's mercy unprocessed will upset the precarious ratio of refugees to aid. We should have an opportunity for placement in approximately 7.85 days, presuming no unforeseen alterations. Ah, I seem to recollect one matching your description set for arrival. Pardon my slowing your ingress. It has been rather hectic of late. Welcome to Matriarch's Mercy. Rule number 1, no crowding. Rule number 2, avoid the exclusion zone. Our seer has predicted non-specific imminent danger. I thought the name was self-explanatory. Our seer predicted that a corner of the encampment is in terrible danger. Danger from what? Or when? Unclear. Stay away from it, and, in all probability, you won't have to find out. Our predictions spring from the universal equation, the very numbers that guide the stars. Only a fool ignores probability, and we don't suffer fools around these parts. Safety and probability are incompatible. Eventually, nowhere will be safe, including here. Not at present, but according to our predictions, the creation of a third rule is likely, if not inevitable. That's enough questions. Keep the line moving. You need anything, talk to Seer Wiley. He's in the lift building, straight through the settlement.
I remember this place before the war. Functioning tramiculars. Peaceful silence of the canyons.
I can't recall the last time this region was...
I swear, it's nigh on impossible to find decent animal remains in these parts.
And then we solve for the... apologies. Just catching up on a research assignment between queries. Yes? Did you need something? Typically, no. And it has been somewhat challenging focusing my concentration. The abbot felt a scientician operating in a conspicuous spot in the thoroughfare might be useful. An illustrative way for our guests to see how we operate. To show how the crabble patties are made, as it were. That is, if the meat preparation involved a 90-step rate formula and a conflux of polynomial equations. I am also on hand to answer queries by providing data supporting our actions. Though perhaps due to my central location, 89.74% of the time, I am simply asked for directions. They must be exceptionally pleased with the statistical jump correlated to residents within Matriarch's Mercy. Numbers here are pretty compelling. According to data, life inside shows a notable uptick in key relevant quality of life factors. Longevity, access to medicine, potable water. Life outside sees increased risk of starvation, inclement weather, and hostile xenofauna. Yes, indeed. Numbers are really against you out there. We have diverted internal resources to better meet demand in key areas. And I'm pleased to say that's led to a statistically significant 2.7% increase in refugee satisfaction. But if my data remains unconvincing, I suggest you inquire with Provisioner Plotnik inside the lift building. Simply tell her Archivist Widmark approves brief use of her time. Then back to it I shall get.
How long are we meant to stay here?
Ask the order. I'm not in the prediction business.
Every scientician yearns to visit the archive. Apologies, outsider. As a vicar, I am usually tasked with guiding non-order lay people, such as yourself. Lately, the abbot has tasked me with the education of the refugees in our care. You are, of course, free to stay to be enlightened by my lecture, but I don't need an abacus to predict your path lies elsewhere. Well, if it's in the displaced's best interests, I imagine I can find a moment. Yes, I reckon I do have my ear to the grimy dirt floor of Matriarch's Mercy. I hear what common laypeople are saying, and the wide array of bodily noises they make. Suppose I, more than any other member of the Order here, connect with non-scienticians. I've begun daily lectures, including practical advice on efficiently planning their days. I frequently launch into extended orations on everyone's favorite topic, math, and meticulously expatiate on our sex origins in the most rigorously pedantic detail. Oh, dear. I got ahead of myself, didn't I? That's an occupational hazard around here. As I'm sure you've read in recent dissertations doing the rounds, education has proven to have a 13.7% increase in overall quality of life. I am single-handedly making a difference here, with constructive pointers on efficient scheduling, lessons on order history, plus some mathematics for a little added razzle-dazzle. Perhaps some other time we can debate the theoretical complexities involved. But I fear I must get back to my duties. These laypersons won't enlighten themselves.
Shame what happened there. I seen the whole thing. Watch yourself if you intend to nose around that collapsed ramshackle. I swear, refugee settlements aren't what they used to be. Oh yeah, Duarte. He's former aunties like me. He was underneath for a few hours. Or, no, that was before. This time it was Rollo Nast? No. Gert Valkenburg. Happens a lot. People here need more room to breathe. Can't build in the walkways, can't set up in the exclusion zone. So they build up. Best they can, at least. Don't have proper building material or nothing. They just make do. After a while, the stacked up little huts they jury-rigged come tumbling down. Oh, you put that together, did you? Here, I thought I was being subtle. Yeah, people keep at it. What else choice they have? Order won't listen. Maybe if we interspersed our requests with numbers, they'd pay attention. Seems like all they care about sometimes. They're doing something, which is better than nothing, but not by much.
An ongoing prolongation of existence advisory remains in effect for all presently transiting the Golden Age region.
Welcome. Have you come to bask in the Order's knowledge?
What happened to this place? Matriarch's Mercy is no safer than the trenches.
We're not going anywhere. Not on the basis of some
Please keep your
half-baked
behavior
prediction.
within acceptable
This so-called exclusion zone is where we stake our claim. Stand with me in defense of freedom.
What is it? I have 15 seconds of allotted time for non-specific discourse, so choose your words with expediency. Oh, new arrivals. Of an independent operative nature, one presumes. Did the abbot assign you to help? Yes. Unfortunately, you are the first to notice. Infrastructure requests from the displaced exceed present resource capacity. The mounting accumulation of prevailing desideratum is regrettably beyond us. Or beyond me, more to the point. I am simply one person, impossibly stretched thin, and unable to attend to the needs of the displaced. One priority concern stands out. Well, something of a dispute, really. One where my latest near-future prognostics report may provide some guidance. Tell me, what do you know of the exclusion zone? Excuse me, but the intricate dance of the cosmos is anything but shady. You see, the seer predicted that a calamity would befall the exclusion zone, warning that the barrier must not be crossed. But the ever-disruptive voice of the displaced is dead set on occupying the exclusion zone anyway, laughing in the face of certain peril. We don't know, and therein lies the frustration. The seer has augured death for anyone who enters the exclusion zone. Yes, you heard me right. Death. Furthermore, and I quote, "An outside mediator, having earned the confidence of both sides, has a high likelihood of clearing up an ongoing dispute." We can't have the voice of the displaced sowing disorder. Will you help us? Will you be our outside mediator, as was foretold? The first step is to familiarize yourself with every angle of the dispute. Talk to the people of Matriarch's Mercy. The displaced want the exclusion zone. We want it kept off limits. We can't both be right. Feel free to speak with the voice of the displaced herself if you aren't already acquainted. Any questions before you get started? I can tell you she's a rabble-rouser of the highest order. Still, she cleaves to her principles. That's something. You can find her outside, among her people, stubbornly defying an order barricade. Novice Seer Vicarage should have ample time to illuminate you on the Order's forecast modeling methods. He's just down the room from here. According to predictions, yes. Or at least, my interpretation of them. I am reasonably certain. More than usual, in fact. Many people around camp support or object to our methods. Speak to them, form your own opinion, and when you are ready, we will decide the fate of the exclusion zone.
1,068.5 pardons, but my attention is presently 99.81% occupied, coordinating provisions and supplies for the displaced. Well, if the archivist said so, I suppose I can factor out a moment. As the assigned provisioner, I am responsible for coordinating the requisition and distribution of comestibles, medicinals, and miscellaneous vital supplies. The overwhelming majority of my time is dedicated to this, leaving only moments to see to the Order's needs in the settlement. But it is an effort I undertake with great relish. You may not have noticed, but the refugees do not want for food or medicine. With the great disruption that has occurred to their lives, one can hardly blame them. That they are fed and remain healthy is sufficient for me. The Order of the Ascendant is dedicated to the ascension of humanity. Our ultimate goal may not be reached in our lifetime. If I can help others in need today, I shall do so to the utmost extent of my abilities and resources. Appreciate you respecting my time.
By the law. It's you. Oh, thank the architect you're finally here. I've scarcely breathed while hoping you'd come. I am in desperate need of your help. True, but the Order's predictions know you better than you know yourself. As a doctor, I'm appalled. We don't have enough beds or private quarters to separate people, so sickness is blazing an unhappy trail through the refugees. Of course, the Order keeps us well supplied with meds, but things will get worse as long as we're overcrowded. Yes, I can treat sickness as it arises. It would be leagues better to prevent it entirely. That means space to spread out. Since you asked, you can run this medicine to Horst Lambing. Just don't shake the man's hand. He has a habit of coughing into his palm when he covers it at all. You see, the Seers are members of the Order who labor over the universal equation. Even in its unfinished state, the equation gives them the means to predict the future. Recently, I had a rare opportunity to ask the Seer for guidance. He told me that a dashing outsider would answer my prayers. I feared the prediction was a fluke, but here you are. A dashing outsider standing before me. Where to begin? There are so many sick and wounded in Matriarch's mercy, and I have but 2 imperfect hands. I am but a humble general practitioner. What I really need are specialists, and the Seer predicted an outsider would find them. My thanks, stranger. Probability is on our side. The Seer gave me a datapad with explicit instructions that I not read it, for my intervention could only throw probability into disarray. Now, take the datapad, with my thanks. How can I be of service?
Friends, neighbors, while you shelter...
Where do we go now? Another refugee camp? Another colony?
I predict, with an 8.23 margin of error, that our situation will improve in time.
Stop it with the predictions. You don't even know multivariable calculus.
Just trying to cheer you up.
Broke my nose. I banged him up real good for you, didn't I? I won you one, right? Matters settled.
The void you did. Barely connected. You're thinking of 2-3 scraps ago. You've been mostly unconscious a while now. You ought to talk to Boss Tilda. She's the brains in this... What does she call it? Oh, yeah. Quasi-illicit shenanigan.
Doesn't like to look at us when we're all banged up. Said my face turned her off Borscht loaf.
Anyhow, head down the hill along the fence. Tell her Mapother and Mudge sent you. Ow.
This location is inhabited with individuals classified as unscrupulous, maintain scrutiny over personal finances.
You got business? No? Move on. Reckon you at least know how to oil the gears of ingress. Likely you ain't some protectorate or order stoolie. But I'm still gonna be watching. Go ahead. Salutations, friend. Not many find their way into my presence, but those that do possess only the finest of tastes. I do hope you'll pardon the rigmarole it took to meet me. The Order has such an antiquated philosophy on the smuggling of contraband. It's superb cover and a consistent market. Refugees are in need of all sorts of supplies that the Order cannot provide. And Sub Rosa delivers. At only a reasonable markup. Myself, I enjoy the thrills of the environ. Will the Order attempt to drive me out? Will Matriarch's mercy be shelled? Shall I run out of new cereals? Oh, thrilling! Why, I thank you. Takes a unique sort to appreciate the finer points of illegal smuggling. We stand that we'd like to make a good ton of bits on the war. And maybe expand our reach in the process. Beyond that, I'm not supposed to comment. But Sub Rosa consists primarily of ex-Anti's Choice and ex-Protectorate personnel. We've still got folks we care about out there. Complicates some of our feelings on the fighting. But if the fighting stops, our income begins to go dry. Feast thine eyes on the merchandise!
Greetings. What can I help you with? Let me guess. One of your co-occupants is always hanging up his or her britches in your corner of the yurt. Am I right? Or you're dealing with more of a stay off my palate or that's my air you're breathing sort of thing. Pray elucidate the exact nature of your tiff of contention. Oh, really? Like they strung a few words together in a row and it all made sense? That's a marked improvement on earlier. Guessing they left out a bunch, though. Here, in Matriarch's Mercy, if you're not a member of the Order, you're probably living close to somebody else. In some cases, sleeping on top of them. Sort of thing tends to cause friction between neighbors. Would lead to fights, but nobody here wants trouble with the Order. So they hire our hooligans to battle by proxy. Half the time, people shy away at the first sight of blood. The other, that's what they're there for. We say, whoever wins the fight wins the argument. But frankly, it's never anything of consequence, like, okay, hurrah! This guy gets back his mangy button. Now, how can I help you exactly? Ugh, a tourist. Well, clear out then, huh? Can't have you scaring off real customers. I got a bunch of yeggs, 2 pugilized pugilists, and a sick canid to feed.
Look, your nose was just a stand-in for Duarte's nose.
Don't feel like no stand-in. Look, I'm not with Auntie anymore. We all had reasons to. How long are we meant to stay here?
Ask the Order. I'm not in the prediction business.
Oh, try not to get too close. My sinuses are stuffed up, my ears are backed up, and my guts are gurgling. I could burst at any moment.
every fluid from every orifice. So keep your distance. Law, finally. Real relief for my fake symptoms. Let's see it then. If it's all the same, I'll give it to someone in real need. I've got more practice ahead of me. Wouldn't want to spoil it by seeking treatment. You have my gratitude, stranger. I think it's downright awful what's happened to these fine folks. But me especially. Sickness, malnutrition, spontaneous genetic disorders, it never ends. You too. Trust me, you don't want to catch this. Neither do I, for that matter.
How do you do, stranger? Always nice to see a friendly face around Matriarch's mercy. Though it's a pity I can't lend more aid to our downtrodden collective. I'm just a humble taxidermist. What? And you think that's me? Listen, friend, a little skill with needle and thread does not make me a qualified medical professional.
Look, this place ain't exactly crawling with experts, and Doc needs all the help he can get. Even if all you do is suture wounds, your services will be invaluable.
Have it your way, then. I know when I'm being voluntold. But you better make it worth my while. Before I agree to anything, I need sprat corpses. Several. And no victims of violence, please. My art depends on the quality of the sleeve. The term is industry standard. And a taxidermist without standards is never a pretty sight. I used to source all of my sprats from a local trapper, Frankie Billings. No idea if she's still in business. Word has it she's out north in Auntie's Choice territory, so watch yourself. Fresh being the operative word. My thanks, stranger.
Do you believe Arcadia shall ever return to how it was?
Wish. Between the invaders and the water defecting.
Thus, if we compare the rates of dust accumulation inside this element,
My soup is nutritionally calculated to sustain all bodily
insight into the
Please be advised, this unit lacks pharmaceutic resources to provide medical care meeting Earth Directorate standards to populations exceeding 7.5
between the Protectorate
persons.
and the Order? The Consul tried to kill presiding bishop.
Go on. You take care now. You hear?
The meaning of life is in the way, and we are the keepers of the equation.
Oh, a visitor. Without... Hello. You weren't mentioned in my latest personalized order projection. I mean, prediction. Granted, I mostly skim the parts what don't cover probabilistic dangers, so perhaps you were alluded to in some, roundabout fashion. Suppose that means you're not a threat. So that's good, right? Yeah, I reckon that's good. I'll say, I try not to make any big plans until I consult my latest POP. First time I got a POP, it was on a lark. It said, Rollo-nast, our seer has predicted you must wear a helmet today. I borrowed one. As a laugh, everybody ribbed me about it. Just after lunch, wind picked up on the cliff above and dropped a mock apple 152 meters straight down onto my head. Fortunately, I still had that brain case on. Sure, but I've had 9 POPs so far, and at least 3 times something similar happened. Avoided drowning in a culvert, sidestepped my mantisaur allergy. Forget the other. Things like that just illustrate the fragile nature of human existence, especially here in Golden Ridge. My co-occupant Ike had a POP done and told him avoid liquids for 48 hours. He ignored it. Later got drunk, passed out, drowned face first in a puddle of water. You did catch the part I said they'd save my life, right? I think alive is a notable improvement on dead. That's something you can take to the bank, you know? Figuratively speaking. I don't know why the other displaced have been so slow to take to them. But I'm not complaining too loud. Waited for my latest POPs long enough already.